Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Bank Shop Breakdown. We're going to go over 5 college basketball games for Monday, December 4th, 2023. Now, if you like what you see, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comments section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, including my $19 Bank Shop best bet, as well as my all-access season pass in college hoops, you can find those at the premium picks tab at pickdawgz.com. Alrighty, let's get into it. Here are the games for Monday in college hoops. First up, we see Iowa and Purdue. This one's 7 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be on the Big Ten Network. And I want to start by saying, this is a pretty small card in college basketball. Only 6 games total in terms of Division I versus Division I. And, smallest card of the season thus far. And not a ton of great value spots, so I'll be treading lightly. I suggest you do the same. But I still wanted to talk about these games, of course, here on the Bank Shop Breakdown. And this matchup, probably the game of the night in college basketball, Iowa-Purdue. I think Purdue bounces back from that loss to Northwestern. It was a tough spot for the Boilermakers. They had a ton of nice neutral site wins, but it was their first true road game of the season against a conference rival and a team that they lost to last year in Northwestern. And the Wildcats, I think, are really undervalued or underrated. They were at the time, at least, playing in that game. But now Purdue returns home, where it's been very strong. This season thus far, last year, years back. I think Purdue bounces back. They're still the superior team in this matchup on both ends of the court. But most importantly, the defensive side of the court in this game is Iowa. Great offense. They score a ton of points. They score, their pace of play is very fast, but their defense is just not good enough, especially on the road. This is also Iowa's second true road game of the season. Their first true road game, they lost by 8 points to Creighton, giving up 92 points in that one. I could see Purdue scoring 95, 100 points in this game, and it should be enough for a cover in the end. Give me Purdue laying the big number at home to start the night. Next up, we see Arkansas State taking on Alabama. This one's going to be 8 p.m. Eastern on the SEC Network. It's similar to Purdue. I think Alabama bounces back here, gets a nice feel-good win at home in this one. I'm willing to lay the points. I do think that there are some question marks for this Alabama defense going forward, and I think those concerns will be, showing up in SEC play. But in a game like this, I think Alabama will be fine, defensively. Arkansas State 2-6 this season. I think they're a much better team than their record, but they haven't performed well on the road. We've seen them lose to Wisconsin, Bowling Green, Iowa, and Little Rock on the road this season. Most of those double-digit losses, and they've also struggled in their step-up games. Double-digit losses to Iowa and Wisconsin. They lost the Wisconsin game 105-76. Alabama certainly could score 100 points in this game. I wouldn't be surprised because not only are the second best team in adjusted offensive efficiency, but they're also the fourth fastest team offensively. They really, the pace of play is tough for most opponents, and a great shooting team from the perimeter, from the free throw line. They take care of the basketball. A great offensive rebounding team. That could be a problem for Arkansas State, who's not the best on the defensive glass. And Arkansas State 330th in turnover percentage defensively. So Alabama should be getting off good looks almost all game, almost every possession down the floor. And I think the Crimson Tide win this game in comfortable fashion. So I'm going to lay the points here with Alabama at home. Next up, we see Furman and Arkansas. This one, 8 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be on ESPN+. I would say one word for Arkansas so far this season is inconsistent. This team, 5-3 overall, but they have the nice win against Duke. They beat them last time 80-75, kind of a season-saving victory, if you will, for the Razorbacks, who are highly ranked going into the year. They won their first 3 games at home against Alcorn State, Gardner-Webb, and Old Dominion, but lost to UNC Greensboro, which was a surprise. It's a solid mid-major program, but Arkansas should be able to take care of business there. Lost to Memphis at the neutral site and North Carolina as well. The North Carolina game by double digits. So it's been a strange start to the year, and I think Arkansas wins this game, but Furman, another solid mid-major team, I think is better than its current record. Furman's played a pretty tough schedule, a couple neutral site games, some true road games against tough teams, UAB, Princeton, and they haven't fared well in all those ball games, but it's still a really solid offense, a really good shooting team. They're 6th best in two-point field goal percentage this season. I think Arkansas's defense has some question marks right now. Not a great three-point defense. They're not really forcing a lot of turnovers. I think Furman's going to be able to keep up offensively in a game like this. Should be able to cover the number in the end. It's not my favorite game on the board. And like I said, it's not my favorite card in college basketball, but I'm going to lean towards Furman here and take the points. Next up, we see San Jose State taking on North Dakota State. This one, 8 p.m. Eastern. This is actually a rematch. These teams played last week, exactly 1 week ago. It was a 78-65 final score in favor of San Jose State. So they won the game by 13 points at home, yet North Dakota State here at the opening number is a favorite in this game at home, laying 1.5 points. We'll see where the line goes, but it makes sense to me that North Dakota State's favored, even though they lost that first meeting. They played fundamentally pretty well in that first game. They had two more offensive rebounds in that one. They had 2 more trips to the free throw line. They only had 1 more turnover. So fundamentally, I would say North Dakota State was the better team. It was plainly just the fact that San Jose State had a better shooting night. I mean, they were 11 of 24 from 3, 46%, while North Dakota State was a measly 5 of 19 from 3, 26%. And when you look at the season numbers, I mean, North Dakota State's 58th in the country in three-point shooting, while San Jose State is 91st, so not too shabby, but North Dakota State is the better three-point shooting team overall this season. So if the numbers regress toward the mean a bit, I think North Dakota State, has a much better result here, and especially as the home team playing with revenge and a lot more rest than San Jose State has, I think North Dakota State is the play here. So give me the Bison. I'll take them on the money line. Next up, we see the final game for Monday's card in college basketball, Cal Poly and Oregon State. This one 10 p.m. Eastern on the Pac-12 Network. I'm not actively looking to lay big numbers with Oregon State right now, but I do think it's the play in this matchup. Oregon State, give them credit for the last game against UC Davis. It's a solid program. They won that game by double digits, and it snapped a 3-game losing streak against really tough teams. Oregon State is battle-tested. They played a mostly, they haven't played a true road game yet, but they played some tough teams at neutral sites, Baylor, Pittsburgh, Nebraska, and then they beat Appalachian State before that at home. That was an overtime game, and at the time it didn't look like it was a very impressive win, but now we saw Appalachian State beat Auburn outright on Sunday, so that win's, looking pretty good for the Beavers. And just matchup-wise, I think they really benefit from this matchup against Cal Poly because Oregon State does a really good job at getting to the free throw line. They had 28 free throw attempts in the win over UC Davis. And not only did they get to the line, but they're also a really good free throw shooting team. Not a great three-point shooting team or two-point field goal percentage, but the free throw percentage is top 40 in the country, 76.8%. And Cal Poly takes a ton of fouls, one of the most fouled teams in college basketball this year. So even if the shots aren't falling for Oregon State and they continue to have some fundamental issues, turning the ball over and not getting those second chance looks, at the very least, the Beavers should be able to get 30, 35, maybe more free throw attempts in this ball game. And that should be enough offense to cover this number because Cal Poly not strong on really either side of the court. 3/10 in adjusted offensive efficiency, even worse on the defensive end. Not a great rebounding team. And also, Cal Poly has just not played well on the road this season. We saw them beat St. Thomas at a neutral site. We saw them win against San Jose State as a big underdog in overtime at home. But in their road games, like the last one, they beat San Jose State, then they followed it up with a road game against Idaho, lost by 15, 85-70. Not a very good Idaho team, and you give up 85 points in that game. Now you only have 1 day off in between that Idaho loss and this game. It's a bad spot on the road against an Oregon State team. It's probably feeling pretty good after that win over UC Davis. So give me the Beavers here. I'll lay the number at home. And that's it. Those are the games for Monday in college basketball. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comment section below. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pick Dawgz Premium. As always, this is Romanelli. Good luck.